Hey guys, looks like you've made it to the last folder. Good for you. Now in this folder, when you do your reading, we're going to focus on previewing the information before you start reading. Okay, so I have a reading guide that you're going to use for each of the 4 sections as you go through chapter 11. So I wanted to take a couple minutes now and walk through it and show you how it works and do a couple examples for you. Okay, so this is called questioning the headings, and you'll be doing it for each section in this chapter. All right, here's the form you're going to be working with for each section. It's the same form, so all the parts will be identical no matter which section you're working in, okay? So we're going to walk through this and see how we're going to fill each part out. All right, so here we are at the top of the page, and in the box it says, because the title is blank, I think the section will be about da 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 da. So here you're going to make a prediction about what you think this section will be about. So my title right up here is voltaic cells. And now before I even go any further and look at the headings or read anything, I'm going to make a prediction about what I think this is going to be about. So my title is voltaic cells. I'm going to predict how voltaic cells work and why they are needed. Okay, so that's my prediction just based on the title. Next, if you look down at the form, you'll notice that we have the section in the middle where we've got heading, question, answers, and but why is this in our book? Okay, so what we do now is before we read, we're going to skim through the section and look for these blue headings. Okay, now in your textbook it's a little goofy. We do not want the big blue ones, but we're looking for the smaller blue ones. All right, so what I'm going to do then is on my form, under heading question, I'm going to take that heading, which in this case is half reactions, and I'm going to turn it into a question. And there's no right or wrong answer for what goes in this box. You just take that and make it into any question you want. So I'm going to say, what is a half reaction? Okay, so that's my question. So after I go through and make a question for each heading, and the only kind of rule here is that you can't make the same kind of question each time. I can't say, what is a half reaction? And then what is the next heading? And what is the next heading? For each of the headings in the chapter, you have to turn into a different kind of question. So with half reaction, I could have said, how are half reactions made? Why are half reactions important? Anything like that, okay? Who discovered half reactions? So there's an endless amount of questions you could make, okay? Now after I have all those done, so I would have filled all this in too for each heading I have, and the different sections have different numbers of headings, so they're not all going to be the same as far as amount. Then I'm going to go back and read, okay? Now after I read, I'm going to answer the question that I just wrote in the next box. So that portion of the section should have told me what a half reaction is. So now I'm going to put my answer in the box. Okay? Now after that, this last question over here, but why is it in our book? Okay? Of all the chemistry content that the authors had to work with, they had to pick a specific amount of things to put in your textbook. And this is one of them. So in this last column, why do you think this piece of information is important enough that they put it in your textbook? Okay? All right, so the very, very last part of the form then, down at the bottom, is now I know that the title is talking about. So you're going to go back and look at your prediction you made at the very beginning based on the title, and whether you are right or wrong, makes no difference. Here you're going to put a 1-sentence summary of the whole section. Okay? So there you go. That's how you do question the heading. Now you'll notice on this form that there are 1, 2, 3 rows to do heading questions. And each of our sections have a different amount of headings. If you look through the section and see that there's 5 or 6 headings, that's no problem. All you need to do in Notability is put this PDF in there and then duplicate the page so that you have 2 of them. Okay, so just make as many pages as you need to cover all of your headings. So there you are, that's questioning the heading. That will allow you to help preview the content you're going to read before you dig into each section. If you have any questions, make sure you come on up and ask.